get to learn coaching skills. There's courses that are available as well as learning some of these coaching tools. There's coaching directly by me. And then, excuse me, within my men's group coaching program, they also get an opportunity to interact with the other men. Because
nice. So
you
have a men's group?
I do. So I offer one-on-one services as well as a group coaching experience. And all of it's done online. So it's virtual like this. And they, so there's the coaching, but then also there's some peer coaching that can happen where if a man has had a certain thing that he's gone through and he's already resolved it and I haven't gone through it, I might not be the right coach for them. It might be someone who might not even be an official coach, but the fact that he's gone through it, he's going to be able to help that other man much better than I am. So I'm going to connect them together. And so creating that safe space where people are going to be kind to each other, they're all there trying to lift each other up. That's a big part of it. And the other aspect of it, because I mentioned I'm a mindset coach and a business coach. So I've worked in the corporate environment for 25 years. The last, before I left last fall, was spent on transformation, cultural transformation, as well as business transformation. What I'm finding is that there's many folks that the corporate world isn't a good fit for them. Either there's a difference in values or there's something about the structure or the way that people interact that's not healthy for that individual, and that it's actually better if they can launch out and figure out another income source for themselves. And that's where I like to come in and try to help, is that there's a lot that I've learned in building my own business that I can turn around and teach other people. And by having other coaches or other authors, other speakers, whatever type of service they now offer the world, they're part of this membership also because they're still working through whatever struggles come up that day. It can be, with a disgruntled customer or some other issue within their business that's causing them some depression, anxiety, or frustration. So I'm there to help them through that. But they also might be that right person that can offer the service to the other person who's trying to build up their business. So
sounds awesome.
I have some folks that do website design, but because they're part of My Freedom Grove, that they're there trying to lift other people up. And so pairing everybody together so that they can all help each other to rise in business is also one of those aspects.
And they can be themselves without having a woman there besides you, but
right.
that they might feel uncomfortable, sharing their feelings, and I think that's great.
Well, and there's some men issues that are just uncomfortable to talk around in front of women. And women, I know I'm one of them. We kind of depend on our guys to be strong for us. And so
not only that, but
they start to show sadness or anything, they almost feel like they're not allowed to. But in My Freedom Grove, completely allowed to. Whatever feelings they need to express, they can express them there.
And then they also witness other men doing the same thing, and they're like, well, they don't look so sissy or whatever. I don't know. There's a great point about Robin Williams. What's your best advice to offer yourselves to those that aren't speaking up about support? That's from Ryan Matthews. It's actually my guest tomorrow. But
okay. So people that know that they need some support, but they're not reaching out for it.
What is your best advice to offer ourselves to those that aren't speaking up about support?
Oh, okay. So when we see other people that we think probably need support. So that's one of the things that I like to try to teach people is when you see someone, to not go and force yourself on them and say, hey, you need help, and because
nobody likes
all that does is add more shame onto their plate, which actually makes depression so much worse. And so I find what helps is actually sharing your story in front of them or with them. Just like somehow, however it fits into the conversation, sharing some kind of struggle that you've had. And especially if you can tell like what their struggle is, it might be a specific thought that they're stuck on, or it might be a certain circumstance that they're stuck on. Find a story that you have in your background on something that you've already resolved so that you can connect with them. And so you're not pointing out their wound. You're sharing what yours was. And especially if it's already healed, you can call it that you're sharing your scar and showing that there's hope. And
Except for one thing. I'm going to interject. I don't want to interrupt, but if they're not willing to receive help or support, they will lash out at you and say like something like, why do you have to bring that up or talk about your problem or whatever when I'm trying to work on something else or whatever. Or I'm sorry you're going through something, but don't push that on me. Or I don't know, they could get defensive and just saying that might not always work.
Yeah, there's some experimentation, excuse me, to try to see exactly how to deliver that. But for some people it'll work. For others, it might not. It might be that they're just not ready to even work on their problem. And they're allowed that freedom. You know, as much as it's hard for us to let go of someone else that's suffering, sometimes that's actually the kindest thing that we can do. And it goes against everything we believe in. But one of the things that was a huge turning point for me was when I learned about the drama triangle. So we've talked about trying to get out of being a victim. In the drama triangle, there's 3 parts. There's the victim, the persecutor, and the rescuer. And what I found was that I couldn't stand being a victim, so I ended up being a rescuer. And that was actually causing other people to go into either the victim role or the persecutor. I was actually adding fuel onto the pain. And I didn't even realize that. I was just trying to help. So when I learned about the empowerment triangle of being the inspirer, the coach, and the creator, and how to coach people into that, that was where the magic really happened, is that I learned I couldn't rescue people.
We can't change everyone, and we can't feel like we have to save the world. That's way too much for us. Gretchen, we have like 1 minute left.
Oh, okay.
So we have to kind of wrap up. I could listen to you for 2 hours, but we only have the one. We're going to get cut off, whether we like it or not.
Okay.
But to hear more with Gretchen, please follow her on Facebook and give your website really quick. Your Facebook
so
page.
My website is myfreedomgrove.com. Facebook, also myfreedomgrove.com. I have a podcast. Some are mini lessons. Some are interviews, also called My Freedom Grove. You can find that directly off of my website, off of the Facebook page, or you can go on to iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, or iHeartRadio.
Yay. myfreedomgrove.com. And it's Gretchen Hernandez. And wow. And I mean, so nice to listen to you and with some great advice and great insight. And just to tell everyone, we're not alone. Mental health is not gender specific. It's not racial. It's not anything. We all have it. It's global. I mean, and there's ways to get help. Gretchen, thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Ed, Ryan, everyone, and everyone that supports the show, the whole team and everything. We'll be back tomorrow, every Thursday, Friday, from 12 to 1, live on radio. And also, you'll find us on, like you see, Instagram, Twitter, at MOC with Tiffany, Facebook, YouTube Live. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel at MOC with Tiffany. We have 1,000 subscribers. I'm so excited. We're making change, and change can only come when we stand together as one. Be kind to yourself and a stranger. You never know what they're going through. And take care.
Moments of clarity. Now I hear. Moments of clarity. Now I get it. Moments of clarity.
WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
WZHR, Zephyr.